Good evening. It's Tuesday, August 20th. Welcome to the NCW Life Evening News. Grant Olson is away tonight. I'm Jefferson Robbins. We have a lot of things popping this afternoon. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The primary votes are all counted, and for once, Douglas County voters will have a candidate in the race for county commissioner who's not a Republican. Construction has begun on an illuminated cross above the town of Leavenworth, but does it have the appropriate permits? Chelan County officials say no. Looks like the weather you got today will be the weather you get tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. 80 plus and calm today, and meteorologists expect much the same through the rest of this week. Dan Kuntz will be along later with your full forecast. Our top story tonight, a fast-moving brush fire along the Columbia River quickly went to 3 alarms and had responders scrambling this afternoon. The Stamen fire on the southwest side of Chelan Butte off of Stamen Flats Road caught in grass and dry brush and spread quickly starting about 1:45 p.m. No total acreage was immediately known, and no structures were known to have been lost as of mid-afternoon. However, level 1 evacuation advisories were given out for neighborhoods in the area, including Hawks Meadow Road west of Chelan and the Downey Canyon area. Agencies including Chelan Fire and Rescue, Entiat Fire, and Manson Fire were on the scene. Those fire teams also called for air support. Anyone traveling nearby, whether by road or by boat, is asked to stay clear of the area. Level 2 advisories have just gone into effect. You can find up-to-the-minute details on this fire on our website, ncwlife.com. Douglas County voters will have an independent candidate on the ballot in the race for county commissioner. Paula Lamanna officially pulled ahead of her nearest competition in the District 2 commissioner's race, earning just over 20% behind the 29% share going to Rock Island Mayor Randy Agnew. Agnew is a Republican, but Lamanna, a fitness instructor and former wildland firefighter who's also from Rock Island, registered to run as an independent. Douglas County finalized its vote tally today in the primary election that ended August 6th. Agnew and Lamanna will go head-to-head to replace departing Commissioner Kyle Steinberg on the countywide general election ballot in November. The Chelan-Douglas Board of Health on Monday excluded one of its members from its closed session, where it discussed a legal challenge brought forward by the member himself. Bill Sullivan of Wenatchee is an appointed health board member who also serves on a nonprofit group that opposes COVID-19 vaccinations and health measures. Last month, that group delivered what it called a notice of liability, warning that the board and the Chelan-Douglas Health District could face legal liability for its part in offering vaccines and carrying out its pandemic response. Sullivan was one of 16 signatories of that letter, and the board's attorney said his presence would amount to a conflict of interest. Washington Public Meetings Law allows for closed sessions to discuss possible lawsuits. That led to an 8-to-1 vote to send Sullivan out of the boardroom during the 20-minute talk. The meeting resumed afterwards with Sullivan in attendance.
This board has been incurring potential liability every time it meets through its actions over the past few years. You notice the liability that was submitted was really just a written culmination of that assertion that I'm making. And I've been clear about this from the beginning. I'm a signatory to the notice of liability for the sake of transparency, right? So what I didn't want to do is agree with it or have it articulate any of the points I've been trying to make without being upfront with you all about it and making sure that you all know that I have contributed to it and I do support it.
The Eastmont School Board unanimously passed a resolution on Monday that says current regulations and state and federal laws around transgender inclusion are, quote, not working for student athletes. The resolution comes in response to a parent effort to have the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association amend its policy on transgender athlete participation that was brought to the Eastmont School Board on June 10th. The board also decided to send letters to legislators asking for support in changing current legislation to provide guidance on the participation of transgender athletes in school sports. To spur the WIAA to review its policy, 5 school districts will have to sign on to an amendment request by October 11th. The Kennewick School District passed a similar resolution in July, though Superintendent Becky Berg of Eastmont noted at the meeting the amendment process has not yet started. When we come back, about half of a lawsuit concerning the acquisition of Chelan Fruit Company remains in process in the courts. And Chelan County PUD commissioners are considering an extension of the 3 to 4% annual rate increases that started about 4 years ago. I'm Jefferson Robbins, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
Check out ClubCrowCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710. Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Welcome back to the NCW Live Evening News. An appellate court last week upheld dismissal of about half of a fruit industry lawsuit that centers on a local fruit company's merger. Chelan Fruit Cooperative accepted a merger proposal in 2021 with International Farming Corporation. But about a dozen co-op members, including Gebers Farms, sued the next year, claiming the merger was conducted dishonestly and Chelan Fruit executives misled their partners leading up to the merger vote. That fall, Chelan County Judge Travis Brandt threw out 6 of the 10 causes of action against Chelan Fruit, including claims of unfair competition, unfair trade practices, breach of fiduciary duty, and state securities violations. Last week, the Washington Court of Appeals upheld Brandt's ruling and turned back an appeal from the plaintiffs to reinstate some of the claims. 4 claims are still to be decided in court, including whether Chelan Fruit committed breach of contract over the marketing of the Sugar Bee apple variety. Chelan County officials say a 70-foot illuminated cross planned for a hillside above the town of Leavenworth does not have appropriate permits, even though construction has been underway since June. Organizers began planning and working on the cross on private property on Tumwater Mountain 2 months ago, including erecting part of the tower and sinking anchors into granite rock. But Chelan County's Community Development Director, Dina Walter, told county commissioners today the structure would fall under the county's sign code, which restricts its height to 35 feet and imposes other rules. The organizers did not immediately respond today to an email from NCW Life seeking comment. Walter says the cross work would also require a building permit, but nobody has applied for one.
We also need to be aware this is a code enforcement issue that is under the sheriff's office. We are the liaison. This would be my interpretation of how the county code reads, but it's up to the sheriff's office to pursue enforcement.
Content doesn't matter. It's a structure. There may be FAA implications actually, because especially that one on the south end, there's those agricultural helicopters that fly around. And the FAA might have something to say about having something sticking up in the air. I think the code should be consistently applied, whatever code enforcement decides to do.
Chelan County PUD commissioners are considering extending the 3 to 4% annual rate increases that originally started in the 2020 to 2024 strategic plan by about 2 years. The PUD says that would combat continued inflation in the costs of generating and supplying electricity to customers. If adopted, the rate increases would go into effect June of 2025 and 2026. Residential customers would see a $2 increase on their monthly electric bill, about a $3 increase on their monthly water bill, and a $3.75 to $3.90 increase on their monthly wastewater bill. The PUD will be hosting 3 public meetings to discuss the proposal. The first meeting will be held at the Wenatchee Service Center on Old Station Road, 5:30 p.m. on August 26th. When we come back, the Washington State Library says the Ward brothers of Wenatchee are doing remarkable work when it comes to producing self-published zines. We'll chat with the brothers about their winning creative process. I'm Jefferson Robbins. You're watching the NCW Live channel. Stay with us.
Public notice. Never before RV public auction. 5 days only. August 22nd to the 26th. Come down and place your bid with no bid refused. There's hundreds of new and used RVs to be auctioned like Flagstaff, Starcraft, Forest River, Chaco, and Salem. Amazing financing. 0 down and no payments until 2025. There's food and refreshments. And you could be an instant winner of a 2024 trailer or $30,000 in cash. So don't miss the one-time only bid and buy auction sale. 5 days only. August 22nd through the 26th.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
Welcome back. 3 brothers from Wenatchee have been recognized for their creativity by the Washington State Library in the last 2 years. Spencer, Forrest, and Wayland Ward are all students in the Wenatchee School District who are avid readers and writers. This year, Wayland and Forrest were the winners and finalists of the pre-4th grade category of the Washington State Zine Contest. Zine is a self-published work of fiction and art. Last year, their older brother Spencer won the same contest for his piece titled Washington Haiku. NCW Life got to chat with the brothers who all wrote zines inspired by Wenatchee's agriculture and outdoors.
When we came here once, we happened to go upstairs and we saw this flyer for this Washington State Zine Contest, and the rest is history.
Zines are like mini magazines that you could share your ideas and you can like receive ideas from other people. So it's titled like Tiny Mighty, and it's like how a little seed could make an entire festival, and like its journey of the way there.
I feel like some of my stuff that I write is inspired by stuff that actually happened. From the book that I saw haiku with, it had Japanese symbols next to it, and I thought that would be cool to add them. Haiku originated from Japan, and it follows a pattern where first line has 5 syllables, second line has 7, and the third line has 5. So first one is about a salmon. So it says, little salmon swims, he knows the journey, so he goes and does. And the Japanese character I did means courage, because I would guess that it would be hard for a salmon to make it all the way from the ocean back to the top of the Columbia River.
And so my zine is about all in nature, like in Washington. There are animals and trees, lizards, ladybugs, red robins, frogs, worms, dragonflies. My mom thought of like that there would be like great ideas for like this mini book. Like my mom think like these are like perfect animals to go in.
Would you say you're a family of readers and writers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you bounce your creativity off each other?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Dan Coons filling in for Grant Olson on this Tuesday afternoon as we take a look at your weather forecast. Beautiful view from our Wenatchee Heights camera, zoomed us about as far back as we can make it. And a friendly reminder, I think this is one of the reasons a lot of people like to live here. Who's kidding who? It's a gorgeous piece of real estate here in North Central Washington. All right, let's get to it. We actually have a lot of weather to talk about. First of all, this right there sucks. We don't like that. That's right in our wheelhouse. We are in an extreme drought. We're talking since January 1st, we're behind over 1.5 inches of where we should be for rainfall. You go all the way back to October, it's like 1.75 inches. Now, we don't really get a lot of rain here, of course, because we're in the shadow of the Cascades, but that is alarming. We need rain. We just may get some, though, as we go through the rest of the week. And here's your forecast for next week. Now, granted, it's next week. This will take you through Labor Day weekend. But as you can see, above normal temperatures, normal precipitation. Normal precipitation in late August and early September means very little rain. So it looks like this dry spell is going to continue when we get into next week. We're going to heat back up again. But first things first, the immediate future. First of all, today. We topped off at about 83 at Pangbourne, which is just a couple of degrees below normal. Our normal high is 86. You're going to notice as we do the forecast, we'll be just a little bit below normal, not well below normal. And there's that alarming statistic we just talked about. We're over 1.5 inches behind our rainfall since the start of the year. We've been in a drought for a couple of years, but this is getting a little nerve-wracking, quite frankly. And when you notice, we're under the 14-hour mark for daylight. The days are getting shorter. We're losing about 3.5 minutes of daylight every day. Highs tomorrow, a little bit cooler than today. Everything's going to be just like it was today. We're going to have some clouds in the afternoon with some sunshine in the morning. 82 in Moses Lake, 82 in Ephrata, 82 in Quincy. Omak, you'll check in at 81. Slightly cooler in Lake Wenatchee. You're going to have a little bit more cloud cover right along the east slopes of the Cascades. That includes Leavenworth as well. And as you can see, we'll be just about 80 or so tomorrow. So basically what we're going to see here tomorrow is pretty much what we had today. We had quite a bit of sunshine in the morning. The clouds began to roll in the afternoon hours, fairly cloudy by the end of the day today. We do it all over again Wednesday. The only difference is it's going to be a little bit cooler and maybe, just maybe, a couple of light raindrops. Lake Wenatchee had some light rain today. We need heavier rain. That's not in the forecast, but anything we can get, we'll take. Thursday, we really start talking about maybe some rain. It'll be fairly cloudy on Thursday, just right around 80, 81. Again, slightly below normal, certainly comfortable for a lot of people. If you're heading up to the fair in Waterville, it's not going to be too bad. Friday is our best chance of rain, especially Friday afternoon. About a 40% chance of rain late Friday afternoon into Friday night. No big deluge. You don't need to go out and build an ark. But hopefully that 40% will be a little higher by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is the last day of this cool weather. It's going to slide away. We transition Saturday night into Sunday, right back to sunny and warm temperatures, kind of like we've had all summer of 2024. Sunday begins the transition in earnest, and we'll be sure to let Ernest know. And by the time we get to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right back up above normal with bountiful sunshine. Rain, we need it. We need it big time. Our best chance is going to be Friday evening with about a 40% chance of light showers. So to recap, here we go. 57 for our overnight low tonight. Again, just like today, we're going to see the same thing tomorrow, just a little bit cooler, sunshine in the morning, clouds in the afternoon, maybe a light raindrop or two. We'd like to have a bunch. Our best chance as we jump ahead is to Friday afternoon with a 30 to 40% chance of showers on Friday afternoon. No heavy rain. We'll take whatever we can get. And then Saturday we make that transition, although it's going to be cooler than normal. And then up the ladder we go, and we could be pushing 90 by next Thursday. That's your forecast. Still to come, sports and more. You're watching the Tuesday edition of the NCW Life Evening News.
Want to stay up to date on the latest news in the area? Tired of paying for your news? Download the NCW Life app now. No subscriptions necessary. Get news, weather, sports, and more live as it happens. Available for iPhone and Android in the App Store. Local news at your fingertips. Don't miss the stories that matter to you. Stay connected. Download the NCW Life app now.
I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why we need you. We need people to run camera so I can get back down on the broadcast and talk about what's going on. We pay $75 per event. If it's sports, if it's a parade, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's the Super Oval, $75. If that sounds like some extra good money for you, we'd love you to be part of our team. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. sports@ncwlife.com. In the meantime, I got to go figure out this camera.
And a good Tuesday to you. The Mariners were shut out for the 8th time this season after falling to the Dodgers last night 3-0. In a game that featured defense and pitching early, Freddie Freeman robbed Seattle several times at the game that broke open for Los Angeles in the 7th.
Just continue to pump it up there. Nice play.
He fields that one easily for round number 1. Quick comebacker.
Able to field his position. Former infielder, no problem.
Stone with a 1-2. Rojas pulls it to first. Freeman's got it, and it's a double play. Boy, hot hands and a hot shot. And a double play to help Stone face the minimum. He's halfway home in this game. The 1-2 to Raleigh is ripped to first, and Freddie Freeman saves the day. It stays 0-0 thanks to Gumby over there, needing every bit of this frame. Now Polanco grounds it to first. Freeman steps on the bag and they'll have to tag Rodriguez to complete the double play, which they do. But he has saved them defensively in this game.
It really has. A couple of lineouts to end the last couple of innings, and then this play right here.
High fly ball, deep center field. Robles on the run, turns, and it's gone! Gavin Lux on a night where it feels like it might just be one swing has provided the first.
I mean, they lined up, they wanted this ball inside, and it was starting in there, and they were trying to get the natural run to catch the corner. Just a tremendous swing by Gavin Lux.
Third baseman had a .560 OPS. That ball is hit hard, deep right field, and Max Muncy has gone deep in his first game back. 3 months away, comes back, and it's just like old times. Phillips fires. Sky high on the infield. When this one comes down, the Dodgers get their 3rd win in their last 4.
The only positive from Monday's game at Dodger Stadium was the reception for former Dodger Justin Turner, who was given a $10,000 check for his foundation.
We'll put away changeup. That was the breaking ball to get the swing and miss.
A good hand here as Turner's introduced.
Nice ovation going up for his first at bat.
Right over the leap of Gavin Lux and into center field. So Justin Turner checks into the 1-out single.
Seattle and Los Angeles play again tonight, 7:10. That'll be on Root Sports Northwest. While the Mariners keep losing, the Astros keep winning. Houston beat Boston 5-4 and leads Seattle by 5 games in the AL West. Texas remains 11 games back after a 4-3 win over Pittsburgh. Kansas City topped the Angels 5-3. A's blanked the Rays 3-0. Well, since Seattle keeps slipping in the race for the division, time to start thinking about the wild card. Orioles are in position for the top wild card spot, 2.5 games ahead of Kansas City and Minnesota. Boston is 4.5 games back, while Seattle sits 6.5 games back out of the playoffs right now. Well, the Seahawks are back at the VMAC in Renton, preparing for their final preseason game against Cleveland coming up Saturday. Coach Mike Macdonald says after reviewing Saturday's game at Tennessee, there's a ton the Seahawks need to improve upon.
There's a lot of room for growth, which is an optimistic way of saying there's a lot of things that we screwed up, and you know, if you look at it positive, it's like, good. All right, we know what we got to work on. Let's get after it. But time's ticking. There's a sense of urgency behind it. We got to make some of these things, make some of these mistakes go away as we move forward. The guys know that, and expect some big time jump here this week.
One person on the defensive side who's had a good camp and has high hopes for this season is outside linebacker Derek Hall. He says practicing last week in Tennessee helped a lot.
I think it's really beneficial for us as a club, especially a lot of guys, even like some third and fourth year guys, we've never had a joint practice. So, it was big for me being able to, see a different color all week and not practice against each other. So I think it took the edge off on that piece a little bit. But I think it was very productive for us to be able to go up against someone else all week long and then use that preparation to prepare for the game today. I think it was really, really big.
A particular area of focus for Coach McDonald is on third down, both offensively and defensively.
Well, I'm pleased with where we were on offense. Defensively, not so much. I don't know what the actual numbers were. I think they're like 30-something%, but you don't count penalties. And then I think there's another stat, like, they converted like 4 of 7 third and 10 pluses, which is like a huge no-no. So, we looked at our execution in those situations. You can't be getting man penalties on third and long in the fringe area. So, there's a lot of room for growth on defense. I thought we took a step back this week. So, we got to improve in that area moving forward.
Seattle and Cleveland kick off at Lumen Field Saturday night at 7 o'clock. That'll be broadcast on King 5 TV. Haley Van Lith was in the Wenatchee Valley last week on a flyer to see family and have a get-together with the Brave Warrior Project beneficiaries. While here, Haley was nice enough to sit down with yours truly for an exclusive interview. One of the questions centered on her future after playing at TCU this season. I know you've watched Caitlin Clark's entry into the WNBA. And does that give you motivation? Does that make you a little trepidatious about it? That's obviously the hope for you for your next step, right?
Yeah, I think it's all about how the person views it. And so for me, I'm going to be focused on myself as a player and just what I'm going to be about. That's all that I can control. So regardless of what happens on the exterior, on the interior, I know how I'm going to hold myself and how I'm going to go about things. And I'm going to compete. And whatever results that produces, that's what it may be. But I'm going to go there to compete and earn a spot.
You can see the entire interview that aired on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley this morning by going to ncwlife.com, clicking on full episodes, and click on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
Well, we're going to put a post-mortem on the Wenatchee Apple Sox 2024 campaign, Northern Division Championships. Unfortunately, they don't hang a Northern Division pennant from the pole here at Paul Thomas Senior Field. 1 out short Joel Norman, but as you're going to find out in the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, damn good year.
Heck of a year. Like we said, North Division champions, 1 out away from winning the West Coast League. A tough finish, but it doesn't define what was an amazing summer. Like we said, so grateful for our fans and just really looking forward to preparing for 2025.
Joel Norman will be making his very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Tune in tomorrow.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, including the latest on the Stayman fire, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you do see news happening, we would like to hear from you. Email us, news@ncwlife.com or 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Grant Olson will be back in this chair tomorrow night. Have a great evening.